Hey guys, welcome to Views of the Void, where we talk about all things fiction. If you like the video, be sure to hit the like button, comment your ideas on what you want to see in my content, and be sure to subscribe. Let's begin. In the world of One Piece, there is a constant battle between the villainous pirates and the great heroes of the world government. A war of chaos and order. Both sides have access to the seemingly unlimited number of powerful objects known as the Devil Fruit, which can grant the one who eats it bizarre and amazing abilities. But out of all the questions this series raises, these are some of the most common. Where did the Devil Fruits come from? What is the Will of D? And what is the One Piece? Where did the Devil Fruits come from? The easiest of these questions is the first one. First, what do we know about the Devil Fruits? We know that they are classified into three major categories. Paramecia, which allows augmentation of one's body or affects the surrounding environment. Logia, which allows one to become whatever elemental force that is associated with that fruit. And the Zoan, which allows one to become essentially a werebeast with whatever animal is associated with that fruit. And each has its own subcategory. While the true origin of the Devil Fruit still eludes us, we did get a mention of a myth that revolves around it. The Devil Fruits are said to be the incarnations of the Sea Devil, an entity in One Piece that we know next to nothing about. In fact, the Sea Devil has only been mentioned a few times throughout the thousands of episodes and chapters of the series. Incarnation has two meanings. One being a person or being who embodies in the flesh a deity, spirit, or abstract quality. And the other being one of a series of lifetimes that a person spends on Earth. One definition, if implied, would imply that the Sea Devil is a spiritual entity that creates vessels for his powers. And the other would imply that it is a physical being that has reincarnated multiple times, leaving traces of its powers with every death cycle. The problem is that the powers from the Sea Devil come in the form of fruit. I believe that the Sea Devil's spirit from his multiple physical bodies reside in the fruits and passes on to those who eat them. In turn, everybody who has eaten a true Devil Fruit has part of this demon inside of them. Apparently, without specific situations, one cannot have two Devil Fruits, as the two incarnations of the Sea Devil would fight themselves and eventually destroy the user's body. The only exception to this rule so far is Blackbeard, who has the Yami Yami no Mi, or the Darkness Fruit. Why could he and he alone so far be the only being in the world to possess two Devil Fruits, which he describes as an infinite void of darkness that devours everything, and to be the power that's most evil out of all the Devil Fruits? Could we suspect that the property of Blackbeard's body being in infinite darkness is the reason why he can house two devils without really dying? I would like to think so. Blackbeard has become somewhat of an anomaly in One Piece, some kind of singularity, as he has been able to do not one but two things that we have thought to be impossible. The first being that he is able to acquire more than one Devil Fruit ability. The second is that he found a way to actually take away someone's Devil Fruit ability after they die and basically stop the cycle of the reincarnation of the Devil Fruits. I have my own theory regarding Blackbeard, but I will save that for another video. We need to move on to the next subject. The Will of D. This subject is one of the most talked about throughout the series, as the D is not just an initial for a full middle name, it is just that, a singular letter. It has appeared in multiple characters across the series, most notably Monkey D. Luffy and Gold D. Roger, the previous Pirate King. The meaning of this letter is shrouded in mystery, but I have seen a few characters say some very interesting things about it. For example, Dr. Kureha was the first to really mention the initial when she saw Luffy's full name on a wanted poster. It even stated that Chopper has allied himself with a very dangerous man. Even when Roger was executed, the world government changed his name to Gold Roger, as to try to hide the initial D in his name. But what was the purpose of it? Those who hold the initial D have largely been related to each other either by bloodline or by fate. Roger and Garp, Luffy and Ace, but it has been far spread across many characters around the world. It is known that the only two people to really know the meaning of the letter are Whitebeard and Odin, but both of them have passed away. But before he died, Whitebeard stated that killing a D-bearer would not extinguish the flames of Roger's will, that there will always be someone else to take up the fight for his wish. But what was Roger's wish in the first place? And why is it something that those with the initial D need to fight so hard for? I believe that it is freedom. To be the Pirate King, one is thought to need to be the strongest in the world, in every aspect. Individual power, crewmates, ships, etc. But I think that the real requirement is complete freedom. Freedom itself is an interesting concept, as it can be good, but an excess amount of freedom can be dangerous. The leaders of the world government known as the Girl Side once said that the D meant danger, but I think there's more than that. When asked why Luffy had the faith of Law, Law stated that the will of D is very strong in Luffy. It even revealed that he himself was a member of this mysterious clan of dangerous people. When Rosinette was talking to Law about his childhood, he said that as children they were told that if they misbehaved, they will be eaten up by D. The family of D were treated more like a legend or myth, similar to a cautionary tale rather than a physical group of people. They were seen as evil, the natural enemies of God. For this reason, I believe that the D stands for devil, as in the sea devil. I know I'm not the only person to think of this, but if the sea devil can have its soul split into an insane number of fruits, why couldn't it do the same with humans? The members of the family of D almost all have the same characteristics. They show immense loyalty to their loved ones, they all have insanely immense willpower, and they all smile in the face of imminent death. Roger at his execution, Luffy when he was about to get executed by Buggy, Ace when he died in his final moments, as did his mother when she gave birth to him. Even Saul smiled as he was frozen to death. I don't think this is a coincidence. They all knew, even subconsciously, that even if they died, there would always be another D, another incarnation. The D family, I believe, are agents of chaos, whether they know it or not. No matter what the situation, they always have an innate sense to rebel. Garp and Saul consistently ignore the orders of their higher-ups and do as they please. Dragon, the revolutionary, rebels against the world government itself to bring peace and freedom to the entire world. I think it makes sense. Gold Roger, or Gold D. Roger, was said to be a demon, as some would tell Ace that he contains the blood of a demon. The D's share another similar trait of being ruthless when it comes to protecting their loved ones. I believe that either the Sea Devil's spirit is contained in the family of D, or that he is the progenitor of their family line.
What is the One Piece? The One Piece, as we know it by now, is a vast treasure trove that existed hundreds upon hundreds of years before Roger even set foot on the island of Raftel. Maybe even before the mysterious Joy Boy, who existed, I believe, 800 years prior to that. I think it also contains something more ominous. I believe the island of Raftel houses the true body of the Sea Devil itself, and that Joy Boy himself, along with everyone who contributed to that vast treasure, died on the island of Raftel, and that Roger was the only one to make it back at the cost of his health gaining an incurable disease. Roger, as well as Luffy, has the unusual ability to hear the voices of all things. It is likely that the souls of those lost to the Sea Devil warned Roger of what was really going on. What if the Void Century was the 100 years the Sea Devil was able to run rampant in the world, sowing chaos and destruction everywhere it went? There was once even a great kingdom that ruled over everything before it was brought down by the alliance of the 20 kingdoms. What if the Sea Devil ruled it through one of his many incarnations, or maybe by one of the D's? It was hinted that Joy Boy was a very prominent figure during this time period. It could be possible that he was the one who could have saved the world from the terror of the Sea Devil by somehow confining it to the island of Raftel. He wrote the letter of apology on a poneglyph to the citizens of the Fishman Islands for not holding up his promise, in which he was going to bring them up to the surface to live amongst the other races of the world. However, it is said that Joy Boy will return, but no one knows when. The Void Century was a concept meant to erase and conceal 100 years of history for unknown reasons. Maybe because the history of a world that was once ruled by a devil would be hard to take in. The Great War could have been a war that likely lasted 100 years and results in an ancient kingdom losing and the establishment of the world government being the heroes. But if that was the case and they saved the world, why would they want to hide it away? Unless we are not getting the whole truth about what happened. Seeing how politics and monarchies work in One Piece, that is most likely the case. They even tried to hide the island of Raftel away from the public. Why? Because it was an island that held tremendous amounts of treasure, or because they didn't want to risk reawakening the evil that lurked there. None of those who know what happened in the Void Century even really want to talk about it. If they do, it's reluctantly at best. Kozuki Oden said that knowing such things would only be a burden. It is possible that the D family were the previous rulers of the Great Kingdom, which could be why those who are found out to be D's are hunted down and eliminated, due to the fear that they would give rise to a new reign of the devil. They may be why the D's were treated like myths and monsters in other countries over the years. They are the natural enemies of God. They are rebels. The D is their mark. It is said that there will be a great war once One Piece is found. But between whom? The world government and the pirates and revolutionaries, or the world versus the Sea Devil? Inherited will, the swelling of the changing times, and the dreams of people. These are things that cannot be stopped. As long as people seek the answer to freedom, these will never cease to be. The D family simply want freedom, but whose freedom are they truly fighting for? Maybe that's why Roger's final words were to prove that One Piece was real, and in doing so, he enlisted the entire world of powerful fighters to finish what was started 800 years ago. Gather all the family of D to finally be free of the devil, whose will they are bounded by.